So, do you walk in City Heights all the time?
Yeah.
Where do you mostly walk to?
Like to store.
To the store? And this is the store right over here? How far away do you live to walk to this store?
Like
Blocks? Just like 2 blocks down that way? Do you walk to school?
Yeah.
Does your mom walk to school with you? So when your mom walks to school with you, sometimes does she walk to the store and then walk home? Are there other places that you like to walk to here in City Heights? More of a question like for your mom. Are there things here that she would like to walk to that are not here? How about you? You live here?
Yeah.
What part do you live in? Just down that way?
Yeah.
Then how do you get around in here? Just walk?
Walk or ride the bus.
Ride your bus?
Get a ride.
From where you live to where you go, where do you go most of the time then?
Well, I work at Santi.
Oh, you work in Santi?
Yeah, I have to ride the trolley all the way to Santi, back and forward. And then from Santi, I drive a company truck that
if you live here, then do you walk to go to the grocery store? Or?
Yeah, walk everywhere. Or ride the bus or take the trolley, stuff like that.
How far do you usually go? How far do you think from where you live to come up here to the main part of City Heights?
Like about a mile.
About a mile. Do you walk that far usually, or do you ride the bus mostly? Walk?
I usually walk or take a bus.
What workout? Do you buy all your clothes and stuff in City Heights, or do you go to other like alcohol to malls?
Usually I buy all my old clothes over there in the east side of the East County.
East County?
Yeah.
So you kind of work. You shop where you work at.
The best performance, the best clothes you get in the East County, and shoes and all that stuff. In the East County, that's what I buy.
Cool.
Santi.
Do you walk here in City Heights every day of the week?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much every day.
I work in the mid-city school right there.
Oh, right over here?
I work in there once.
Right behind the police station.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I.
So do you eat lunch over here then? When you work there?
Not really. I don't eat that much. I eat at home.
Okay.
More like it. But I like pizza. No, I like the Little Caesar pizza right there. This area is very nice right now. It used to be very bad.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It used to be very bad, but since the police control all the bad guys, and most of the bad guys are in jail right now. And so the people are very nice right now. The area is very nice.
There's no fear of crime or...
No fear.
It's very secure now lately. Yeah, and I know most everybody around here because I've been living here in San Diego most of my life, man. I've been living here in San Diego for
like 40 years. Do you normally walk to the store?
Yeah,
because
very close at home.
Very close?
Very close.
Do you walk to a lot of places here in City Heights?
Yeah, sometimes we're going sometimes right there for exercise.
The park?
The park?
Yeah.
The park? Here in City Heights, because you walk to some places, do you do all your shopping in City Heights?
Shopping?
Yeah, do you do shopping in City Heights other than groceries?
Yeah, groceries. Not always, because sometimes I go into the Filipino store,
Where's that at?
And Manila.
In National City.
National City, right? Yeah. When you think about National City, because I've been to National City to the Filipino store, there's a whole row of them right there. Are there stores that they have there that they don't have anything like that here?
Yes, yeah.
What kind of stores do they have that's not here in City Heights?
Oh, like Filipino food.
Yeah.
What part of City Heights do you live in?
I live right next to Clark.
Clark?
Yeah, middle school.
Middle school? Is that to the south?
Yeah, it's a little bit south. Not too, just a few blocks from here.
Are you in high school?
Yeah.
Do you walk to high school?
No, I skate to school.
You skate to school? And where do you go to school at?
Go to Hoover High School.
High school? Do most of the kids that you know that go to Hoover High School, are they either walking or riding a bike or skating to school?
I think a lot of them like walk.
They do just walk.
Yeah.
When you get out of school, at the end of the day, where do you guys like to go to?
I just like to go skate.
Just go skate
Go
out.
anywhere.
In City Heights, are there things that you wish you had in City Heights that you would go to if they were available?
Skate park probably.
Do you ever like go to lunch or go to places to eat lunch or get coffee or do anything like that?
Yeah, we eat the places here, but I don't like eating here much.
Really?
McDonald's.
So would you? Are there not healthy places?
Not
Healthy
so
food?
much.
Not
Subway is okay, but you get sick of it.
Okay. So you live in City Heights, right?
Yes, I do.
What part of City Heights do you live in?
I live right in this general area.
Right here, right in this area. So do you go to high school?
Like,
How do you get to high school?
I take the bus.
You take the bus? And what high school do you go to?
I go to charter school San Diego at Horton Plaza downtown.
Where do you guys like to go to eat at?
I like to go to Little Saigon over in El Cajon, and I really enjoy pho pho. A lot of the Vietnamese places over there are great. They're excellent food, you know.
Do you skate over there or do you walk over there? Or how do
Oh
you...
yeah, I could skate over there. It's totally skatable. Like definitely, anything's walkable and skatable in City Heights.
So,
It's not too far off. Like,
so you're doing most of your walking. You're doing mostly walking and skating. You
Yeah.
don't drive, for example.
no.
So you go far away, and then are there places that you would wish were here in City Heights? Because you're familiar with a lot of places. Do you think there's things that you wish were here that you don't have?
I feel like we have, or we should have, a general area where skateboarders can have a lot more freedom as far as where they can skate and what they can skate on. Because with the park, it can be a little tough sometimes with kids and soccer players and different events going on.
Where do you think most of the kids that do skateboard, because you know a lot of kids right here that are skateboarding right now, when you say, I imagine most of these kids come from City Heights, but what part of City Heights do you think they come from?
They come from all over. They come from Adams Avenue down on 30th, past 30th on the other side of the freeway. They come from El Cajon, different areas.
You mentioned that you like go to restaurants, good food like Asian food up by Little Saigon. Are there other things that you wish were here as far as food-wise goes?
Wish was here?
Yeah. Or do you think that everything is?
I feel like there should be healthier options as far as what we can eat, because a lot of the garbage we're eating here is like McDonald's, Denny's, and just Jack in the Box, Burger King. It's just a bunch of fast food junk, and I mean, like, the Vietnamese stuff is great. I think, even though it might not be the healthiest, it's still great. It's not nearly as bad as McDonald's or anything. So I just feel like we need a lot more choice instead of all these corporate outlets that are really not feeding us anything healthy. And I feel like the community garden things that are going on are really awesome, because that in the farmers market, that really allows us to have like a lot of alternatives for what we can do here. But besides that, we're kind of limited. A lot of people like, well, oh, I got $1, let's go to McDonald's, that kind of thing. And it's just like, it's not good for us.
Are there other, besides skateboarding and besides some of the food stuff, are there other things that you think should be in City Heights that aren't in City Heights? Or do you think on the other side of the coin that pretty much everything is here except for the stuff that you just mentioned?
I feel like there needs to be more community, more of a youth representation through the community board, because I feel like the community board members don't know what they're doing. I don't feel like they're making the best decisions, and especially the school systems. I feel like they need, the schools, the neighborhood schools. I used to go to Hoover for a lot of the years there, and I feel like we just need a lot more input on what we want to see in our community, because I feel like we have all these people that don't even live in our community running our lives. It's not fair. We have the police over here, most of them don't live here. We have the administrators and teachers, most of them don't live here. I mean, they really don't know what's best for us, and they're the ones that are, in control of our education, our, daily life. So I feel like there needs to be more, an actual youth representation and input from both sides.
And a lot of the maps that she made are attempting to characterize what City Heights actually is, who City Heights is. And in our maps, we took in criteria what development corporations look into. We took into corporation what Starbucks uses for their site analysis. And some of the maps demonstrate just where optimal sites would be for a walkable community. And then in our data, we divided our data based on census blocks, because most case studies are usually done through census tract data, but census blocks are a little bit smaller, and because it's smaller, it offers a finer lens into seeing the characteristics of city heights. It gives you a better view of what the demographics are, or what the income looks like, or what the people look like in city heights. And then this is just a slide showing the demographics of city heights. And then in this map, we outlined what the population distribution looks like in city heights. The darker areas, they illustrate where the densest concentrations of people are, and then the lighter areas where it's less sparsely populated. And these maps are really important, because why would you build something where the people aren't there? Yeah. Oh, and then oh shoot. And then with our density map, we actually calculated people based on population per acre. So it offers not just the block group data, but it also offers a relative how many people are living within the square block, or how many people are living within this neighborhood more accurately.
Okay. Well, as you can see, we made 5 to 19 years old, so the youth in City Heights, and you can see that a lot of them are in the around the major roads, and then compared to the senior density. Just to tell you, these numbers are population by acre, so it's not the actual population number. So it just shows you the concentration of people in those block groups. So as you can see, seniors and the youth are up north where the major roads are. And then this is just a more detailed map of 5 to 14 years old and 15 to 19. And a lot of them, again, are in the east part of City Heights. So in some ways they're pretty close, but I guess the 15 to 19 years old, they're more dispersed. So I did household density, and so household density, this is just to show where the concentration of households are, and once again, they're around those specific areas that the previous group talked about. So this can be a good consideration for a walkable community. And compared to renters and homeowners, you can see that a lot of the homeowners are in the southern part of City Heights, while most of the renters are, again, where the concentration of households are.
Okay, so I made the map of the language breakdown of City Heights. So if you wanted to implement, let's say, diverse farmers markets and whatnot, these are the people you'd want to attract. I mean, as you can see from the map, most of the block groups, at least half of them speak Spanish, and then and even they speak more Spanish than English in the north area. As you get into the set closer towards University in Fairmont, you'll see that there's people who speak English only. There's less of them, and then behind the pie charts, I overlaid it with the percentage of non-English speakers. So the darker the block group, the higher percentage of non-English speakers. As you can see, as most of them will speak Spanish or an Asian and Pacific Islander language.
So here, just to get the business data, this is where the density of employees. So once again, this is not the actual number of employees, but in City Heights there are about 7,500 employees in City Heights with over 2,100 businesses. So these businesses should be considered in these walkable areas because we want to bring in the revenue to these specific businesses. So as you can see, a lot of them are concentrated where Fairmont and University are. And I think in this, I'm just going to skip over. So yeah, here we'll start with businesses. Here is just where exactly are all the businesses in City Heights. I know Barry was saying, this is not, we don't have this many businesses in City Heights, but a lot of them are just individual employers. So they have their own business, and we counted those into this map. And as you can see, there's a big concentration on the major roads, once again, on El Cajon and University Avenue. And then I transformed it into a business density, and as you can see, a lot of them are in the areas that the previous group talked about, that specific sites that you guys were looking into. And then just to be a little more detailed, here are the concentration of Bible Law employees. So, as you know, City Heights is a very diverse community, and here are the concentrations of the Asian population and the African American population. There are, once again, they make, African Americans make up about 9,500 people out of 74,000 people in City Heights, along with Asian that are about 12,000 people. And here's a percentage of the Latino population. This is just to give you a specific detail of the Latino breakdown. These might overlap with one another. So then the income distribution in City Heights. We calculated from the end, but we did through the standards of what's low income, moderate income, middle, and upper income. So a lot of the lower income are up north, where most of the businesses, where most of the ethnic communities are. And once again, just to see, many of the homeowners are down in the south of City Heights, where most of the higher incomes are. So that shows correlation just to those together.
Okay, so we also had parcel level data, which is a little finer than the block group data. You can actually see it by almost like building by building. Here's the land use of City Heights. As you can see, along University and along El Cajon, that's where the main business corridors are, as well as Fairmont. And then I broke down residential between 1 to 4 unit housing with a light yellow, light orange. And in the darker orange, you'll see the 5+ unit residential homes or condos. And yeah. And then you can also compare it to what it's actually zoned for. It pretty much correlates, except for on this street right here, there should be more businesses zoned. And on the zoning map, there's they also wanted more dense household units. They wanted more units per building. transit. So I made 4 maps. The first 2 are people take public transit by block group, and then people who own cars by block group. As you can see on the map where it's people who own cars, there's a fairly distinct divide on the east side and west side of Fairmont Avenue. On the west side, you'll see a lot more people who own cars than on the east side. And people who take public transit, they're all densely packed on University and Fairmont. And then again, people who walk, you'll see that on the west side there's barely any people walk, but on the east side a lot more people walk. And then people who drive alone, everyone, or most of them are on the west side where the freeway is.
And then what's interesting about this is with the transportation demographics is that 8%, only 8% of the City Heights population uses mass transit. But of that 8%, 80% of is lower income. So there's a lot of the lower income people depend on the mass transit. So that's important to take into consideration when you're planning a walkable community.
Yep.
We also focus on crimes. I guess the crime maps contribute for considering about vulnerable community. And I collected crime data and made 4 maps. Violent crime map, narcotics and prostitution crime map, and vehicle crime map, and property crime map. And basically all maps shows major road and freeways and the City Heights parcel. And first one is violent crime map. This map has related assault, robbery, homicide, and rape crime data. And I separated the data for 2 terms. One is May 2011 to October 2011, and another one is November 2011 to April 2012. And so the orange points show this term, and blue one shows this term.
Also, what's important about this map is that the blue is from last year's data, right? And you'll see that there's less blue than the yellow, which is from more current data. So you see that the crime is increasing.
It's also important to consider because what might stop people from using a walkable. You might build these roads, you might build nice streets, you might improve the infrastructure around. But if there's enough crime, people will stay indoors because they feel safer. They'll, like in one of the tourist studies that I read when we were developing the criteria for our research, they outlined that what deters or what stops tourists from coming, stops people from spending money and exploring the community is crime, because they don't want to get hurt, they don't want to get mugged, they don't want to get robbed.
And in our further research, we will be doing a lot of overlays to see, we know that City Heights is very diverse and that it's essential to utilize the different ethnic groups and kind of embrace it. So we're trying to find where the ethnic concentrations are, and as you can see, we kind of already mapped that out. But we're going to see where are the ethnic markets. Maybe we can utilize that and create that as a tourist destination to also embrace the community and and see and show everyone that it's a community. City Heights is a place to go to.
And hopefully through like the data that we gather, we could create that value proposition that can get more investors into City Heights. And as we wait in a small walkable community someplace, the improvements in that community could raise the neighborhood as a whole as more and more investors come in.
And I think for further study, we plan to create an action plan going out and surveying residents once again. As you can see in the video, many residents think that City Heights is walkable, so we just have to utilize consider what they say and try to find areas that are economic, that can be economic development for the community, but also consider the people that live there too.
One more?
One more.
John already. John already knew about this, but if you see this graph, you can understand we should care about the crime data. The first graph shows the total number of crimes. So you see the crimes numbers are greatly increasing. And also this one shows each incident's total numbers. And every kind of incident are increasing.
So if you want to buy your drugs, you go to Mid-City because look at the increase of, is that narcotics? Is that the one that's going up? Don't buy drugs from those UCSD students that got busted. You didn't hear about that? Oh, yeah. And one of them got left in jail for 5 days and they didn't even
Yeah, after looking at crime, I mean, maybe it's important to design how to eliminate crime through urban design, how to implement that in the local community as well as make it safe.
Does that complete your presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have some clarification questions?
I was wondering if you guys find out where pedestrian and car accidents are happening in City Heights.
Where?
We can look into it because
I think that'd be valuable to see which intersections are the most dangerous.
We'll look into it and then we'll present a map and we'll map the data for your analysis. Yeah.
Can you go back to the map where crime, the geography of crime? It looks to me like the least level of crime is in the most walkable area. Can you look at Fairmont and University, southeast? Can you point to it up there? You know where that is?
The top right.
No, it's Fairmont and 43rd. It goes right down through the middle.
Yeah.
And then University, and then you see that light blue space in there, south of University. That's where the City Heights Village and the library and the Performance Annex and the park. I mean, there's more foot traffic in that area in City Heights than probably anywhere else. And look at 3 crimes. 2 of them committed in 2011, violent crimes.
Well, the interesting thing, Jim, that I see up there is El Cajon is devoid of interest. And I think that's consistent through all of their maps.
Wow.
And
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so the question becomes, what's up with that?
Could you cut it off and adding it onto the other side? Because it'll go on the boundary of the.
Okay, so it's a mapping issue.
I'm just asking because I believe that the boundary of the.
Okay.
No, if it was a mapping issue, you wouldn't have shown up.
Okay.
So you have vehicle crime on El Cajon, some property crime, but overall, well, what's that about? Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
When I parked my Mercedes to do videos, somebody tried to steal my car.
but they didn't get it.
Well, I had it on video.
Is it because El Cajon is just like a throughway for cars, that traffic's moving at a higher rate of speed? It's not a neighborly environment, so there aren't a lot of people out walking.
So therefore, they can't be accosted around it, huh? Well, that's an argument against walkable environment.
No, it's not. It's not a walkable environment. It's all about cars moving with no median. It's just not. It's not inviting and friendly for street activity on sidewalks.
So it's a
as it
statement about
is.
the absence of foot traffic.
Yeah.
Good observation. The speed limit is higher on El Cajon Boulevard, higher than University, especially when you go through the center of University, City Heights.
It's got zero neighborhood friendly appeal, I think. I don't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's
Any more questions? Okay. Next group.
Good job, guys.